Good morning. We're here in Northwest Baltimore today to talk about cleaning up our beautiful city. But first, I want to remind everyone about the phone ban that will be going into effect soon. The ban goes into effect on Saturday, October the 19th, and applies to all food service businesses. First, I want to acknowledge, I moved too quick, Vice President Sharon Green Middleton, and the other elected leaders here with us, and all the wonderful, wonderful community leaders behind us. The ban prohibits the use of expanded polystyrene foam disposable foodware, which includes cups, plates, trays, clamshell containers, takeaway containers, or similar items used for serving food or transporting small amount of prepared food. The ban does not include paper, plastic, aluminum, and compostable containers. There are a few exceptions to the ban. The ban does not apply to food or beverage that have been filled and sealed in EPS foam containers outside of the city. That's stuff that's coming and being shipped in. The ban also does not apply to material used to package raw, uncooked, or butchered meat, fish, poultry, or other seafood for off-premise consumption. The law will be enforced by inspectors during their daily inspections, and citation will be issued to food facilities if they are in violation of the law. If you want to make sure your business is complying with the ban or need assistance with alternative food containers, please contact sustainability@baltimorecity.gov. That's sustainability@baltimorecity.gov. Now to the business at hand. The fall cleanup is fast approaching, which will be October the 26th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Registration for the fall cleanup is open through October the 18th. Individuals and community association presidents should call 311 to register. Cleanup brings neighbors together and instill a sense of pride and accomplishment. When you clean up your community, you say we care about our community. When others feel it is okay to drop trash and litter, community cleanup show that littering is wrong. Anyone can grab a rake or broom and clean from their house to the curb, and the same in the rear of their property. Make it a part of your weekly routine. Be a part of the solution, not a part of the pollution. Now we have Director Rudy Chow from the Department of Public Works talk more about the fall cleanup. Rudy?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So good to see so many of you, particularly a very strong neighborhood support in terms of the mayor's fall cleanup. Everyone knows that we clean up this effort sort of twice a year, spring cleanup. Now we're looking at the fall cleanup. Now we all know Baltimore is made up of a city of neighborhoods. At this moment, yesterday, we have 137 groups and covering 60 neighborhoods that have been registered to participate in this fall cleanup. We know there are more neighborhoods out there, and the registration is still open at this time, and we encourage anyone in any neighborhoods to go ahead and participate. Now, there are something beneficial to individuals. We know that if you participate in the fall cleanup, that you will get a $10 credit towards your stormwater fee for this 4-hour cleanup from 9 to 1 on October 26th. So we highly encourage everyone to participate. Now, certainly, this is not a activity that is only supported by DPW. We are supported by our other sister agency, DOT and Rexham Park. Together, between the Rexham Parks, DOT, and the Water and Wastewater Bureau, we have more than 50 plus trucks that they are supporting in terms of hauling the trash away once the cleanup concludes. Besides that, we have full fleet of the DPW solid waste vehicles out there collecting trash as well. So with that, I just want to encourage everyone to participate. This is the moment that we can keep our city clean, and we know there's a lot more education, a lot more culture change we need to do to keep our city maintained, our city clean. Having a cleaned up once, it doesn't end there. This is an everyday effort, every minute effort from everyone in the city. Thank you.
Thank you, Rudy, and we're all excited about the fall cleanup. And to help with the excitement, we're happy to announce the Mayor's Cleanup Cup competition in conjunction with the fall cleanup. Thank you to Natasha Neal and Rebecca Woods of Be More Beautiful for coming up with this great idea. The Cleanup Cup is an opportunity for neighborhoods, businesses, and organizations to engage in some friendly competition and to help keep our city clean at the same time. The idea is simple. Compete against your neighbors and other communities to see who can collect the most trash. I know everyone likes taking selfies and pictures with our friends on our cell phones, so get ready and do that. Show how much trash you can collect. So in the Cleanup Cup competition, you will take pictures of the trash you've collected and your cleanup team and send them in for a chance to win some really cool prizes. The winning team gets a plaque. You'll get to have breakfast or lunch with Sharon, and you you will get to have breakfast and lunch with me, and you will get Cleanup Cup Championship T-shirts, but most of all, you get the bragging rights. Now I would like to invite Rebecca Woods, Executive Director for the Environmental Control Board, to come up and tell residents how they can compete for the Cleanup Cup title. Rebecca.
Thank you, Mayor Young. Be More Beautiful is very excited to sponsor the very first Cleanup Cup to challenge everyone in our city to see who can collect the most trash and debris at the Mayor's Fall Cleanup. To sign up for the Cleanup Cup, you must be registered with 311 to participate in the Mayor's Fall Cleanup, and then take that SR number, the service request number that you get from 311, and go to the Mayor's website at www.baltimorecity.gov, and you'll see the registration page for the Cleanup Cup. After registering on the website, you're going to download the tally form and then keep account of the bags and debris that you collect during the cleanup. Make sure you snap a picture of the trash collected and your team and submit all of that to Be More Beautiful at baltimorecity.gov by October 29th at 5 p.m. The winning team will be announced on November 6th, and as the mayor stated, the winners will receive a 2019 Cleanup Cup plaque engraved with the team's name, so be creative with your team names, a Cleanup Cup champion t-shirt, the breakfast or lunch with the mayor, and I'm sure that Councilwoman Middleton would also join, and of course bragging rights, and we all want to be a part of this. So come on, Baltimore, it's time to roll up your sleeves, get your game face on, and try to take home the cup, because together we can all be more beautiful.
Thank you, Rebecca, and thanks to your team for all their hard work and putting this initiative together. I also want to thank all of the residents and neighborhood associations that have already signed up, for some of whom have joined us today. Any question about the fall cleanup or the Cleanup Cup?
The Judiciary Committee and the Council approved an amendment this week to the plastic bag ban that would reduce the thickness of bags that would be subject to that ban. Environmentalists say that that is a loss, that it goes to the integrity of the bag ban and would perpetuate litter and plastic bags going into the community into the future. And the chair of that committee, Councilman Costello, said that you were in support of that change. Can you explain that?
I haven't seen the bill. I haven't seen the amendment, so I can't speak to that right now. It's still in committee. Just came out of committee.
So was the chair of the committee out of line in saying that you supported it?
I would say this: the chair of the committee might have misinterpreted what I said. Okay, so I'll leave it at that.
Getting the city cleaned up is obviously really important.
Jane, I really don't remember what I said because he came to me to talk about a lot of other things, and I think things got twisted because I haven't taken a position. My position was if the council passed a bill, I would sign it. Okay. Now, if the bill come in different from what was introduced, then there's a problem.
Getting the city cleaned up is obviously important, but we know one of the biggest issues is illegal dumping. So what are you guys doing to combat that? Because if we continue to clean up, then people are continuing to come in illegally dump.
Well, you know, when I was in the council, I did a forfeiture bill where we can actually confiscate the vehicles, and when they go to court, they give it right back to them. So what we're going to do is come up. I'm going to work with the council to come up with a healthier fine for illegal dumping. But we also must make sure that we are not illegally dumping. I'm talking about citizens in the city of Baltimore, because we have 311, where if you want to put out items, they'll come and pick it up. We also have the fall cleanup. We also have where community groups ask for dumpsters, and they can clean up that way and get trash, taken to the recycling or the dump. So we're going to look at stricter penalties for people who are coming in, dumping in our city. And we're also going to take a proactive approach, even with our own citizens who are illegally dumping in their neighborhoods.
Do you have any plan to catch them though? Because often they're coming.
We always have a plan to catch them. We always have a plan to catch them. The thing is, sometimes they hide their license plate numbers, and the community can't really figure out, the license plate number because they cover it. So what we're looking at, even if we put cameras, we won't catch those kind. So what we're doing is asking our police department and our citizens to be on the lookout. And when we see those kind of things, we're gonna go after them. Either not chase them, but we'll try to block them in or something like that to keep them from dumping. And those areas where it's constant illegal dumping, maybe we need to look at putting up barriers to keep them from getting back there. So we're looking at all options. I haven't discussed that with housing or public works yet, but we're serious about cleaning up our city. We're a city that's not used to being dirty, because our neighbors used to always sweep the front and the back of their properties, always swept the gutters. I see seniors when I'm riding throughout the city going to different events that I have to attend, out there with brooms, sweeping up and cleaning up. And then you can see someone coming out of the store with a wrapper and throw it right on the ground, and the trash can could be right there. So it's changing the habits and culture of people to not litter and trash the city. They want to know why they have a stormwater maintenance fee, because trash and stuff is going into stormwater, going through our harbors, and we have to do something to keep the harbor clean. That's why they have that little wheel with the eyes, and we also need to work with our partners in the surrounding counties to do similar things, put a trash wheel so much trash don't go into the harbor. So we're doing that on a regional level, talking with the different county execs, because as the chair of the Baltimore Metropolitan Council, those are conversations I'm having, how we all can participate in keeping the bay clean and the harbor.
Mayor, just can we go back to the plastic bag issue again? What is your position?
Well, the original bill that was in, I told him if it came to the mayor, I would sign it. If it come in a different version, I really don't know what I might do. So I'm not committed right now until I see the final bill.
What don't you like? What is the?
I can't tell you what I don't like about the bill because I haven't seen the bill.
But from a policy standpoint, do you support a full ban or not?
I support a ban because it ends up in our trees and in our harbor. I support a ban.
All bans,
I support a ban.
all plastic bags.
All plastic bags.
Regardless of thickness.
I support a ban.
Can you speak to the broader national backdrop here in terms of trash in parts of Baltimore? The president has done his thing. Outside groups have come into Baltimore to help clean up, they say. What's your viewpoint in terms of that?
My viewpoint is anybody want to come in and clean up, not coming in to legally dump, but anybody that want to come and clean up, we welcome that. But it's our responsibility as citizens of Baltimore to clean our own city. I think they need to go to the White House and catch that mice or that rat that they caught in the White House. Okay, I'll put it at that.
Mr. Mayor, on a different note, can you respond to the FOP's response to the crime fighting plan?
Say that again.
On a different note, can you give your opinion about the FOP's response to the crime fighting plan?
I think I already said what I needed to say about that. Instead of them wasting ink, they should have read in full the comprehensive plan that Commissioner put in place. And they say we don't have enough officers on the street, then they need to come out of the FOP office and help patrol the streets of Baltimore. If they say we won't have enough, they need to come out and do some work.
Mayor, were you ever confirmed to attend the town hall last night that Fox had? And at what point did you pull out?
I didn't pull out, I just didn't go.
Why not?
Next, because I didn't want to go. Next.
Any reaction to the bike race?
Have you spoken to the governor about the previous plan?
I haven't had, the governor just recently getting back in town. I haven't had the opportunity to talk to him yet, but I am going to speak with the governor about that plan. I was encouraged by his comments. I think his comments were, let's look at it and see what we can do. And the comments from the speaker and the president of the Senate was very encouraging. but we need the legislators to do their part.
I just wanna, can I thank you? I'll let you finish.
They got to hear what I had to say. Everybody know that I've only been on the council, as mayor, about 6 months. And Commissioner Harris has been on the job less than a year. And during that time, he developed a crime-fighting document that has been recognized by everyone, from the governor to members of the state legislators to private citizens and business leaders, as a first-of-its-kind document. Recently, we have seen real-time figures for violent crime trending downward. The members of the police department are committed, all of them are, reducing violent crime and to carry out the reforms to the department. Reforms that I began several years ago when I became the first local elected official to call for an investigation into the Department of Justice and for it to implement body-worn cameras. Two policies that have helped reduce complaints against officers and usher in a number of positive reform to the agency. So we have done everything that we could possibly do. You can put a police on every corner, okay? It won't stop me or anybody else from killing somebody, okay? I think the Commissioner's crime plan of targeting that was data-driven, the times and places where the crimes normally take place, is effective and has been working, okay? Criminals, you know how they work. They find out you in these areas. They come outside of the area, right? And then they commit those murders. But one thing I can say is the police department have targeted some gangs and have arrested them, and some of them are still in jail. And the police department, with our federal and state partners, are targeting these gangs, these groups who are responsible for the robberies and murders, because the robberies are connected to the murders. And they're doing a great job of going out, getting those. All right, we're also working with our federal and state partners with the Warrant Apprehension Task Force, where we're going after also the most violent criminals in the city of Baltimore. But the police department, the elected officials, we can't do it by ourselves. We need the community to be participants and report crime that they see, and make sure that when we see things beginning to happen, just make that 911 call to get the police out there to deal with it. And a part of the crime fighting plan is to have those officers spending 15 to 20 minutes in those areas, and then get out of the area and finish what they normally do of patrolling, then come back so that we can disrupt their activity, because they don't know when the police is coming back and those kind of things. So I think the strategy is working. I think that we need more help, like I said, from our federal, our state partners, and from any police agency that's in the city of Baltimore. We all must work together. That means college campus police on their borders when they see crime. And we're also talking about regional cooperation. Baltimore City is surrounded by Anne Arundel and Baltimore County. The county line, in my opinion, there isn't a line. Crime is crime. If the county police are on Emerson Avenue and there's crime on the city side and there's no police there, they should address it, and vice versa. So our chiefs are beginning to talk on those kind of things. We also want to make sure that our technology is such that we can interact with our other police agencies around the state, particularly around the city of Baltimore. So we're doing everything that we can to try to reduce crime in the city of Baltimore. And then people say, well, it goes back to, poverty. Okay, so we are working even with that. The NIF fund and the Affordable Housing Trust Fund is there to push development into those areas that haven't seen development. Just recently, about, I think 2 weeks ago, on Park Heights, 17 acres of property, a developer is ready to move on that. And then we got other developers looking at the other pieces. So we are targeting areas that haven't seen developments almost in decades. Over on the east side, Rebuild Baltimore are doing a development over there around Greenmount and Preston, all up in that area. So we are doing what we can to move development into those other areas of the city. So we're hoping that by doing that, the folk who feel like they're left out will not feel left out anymore. And we want to target them with job training. I'm talking about real job training, not where you go to a training facility and get trained and there's no job at the end. We want to make sure that we work with corporations and companies that says, hey, we can't find people to really fill these positions. We want to tailor make whatever their needs are to get those people trained and at the end have a job to go to. And then we want to make sure that we get our students into college. Okay, you don't need to be on the corner. Let's get in the trade. Let's do some things that we can do positive to uplift our city. Because we don't want to be known for the murder capital of the world. We don't want to be known for the filthiest city in the world. And we're serious about cleaning up our city and reducing crime. And how we do that is engaged in total community. Let them see some hope. Let our kids see some hope. Working with the 21st century schools, trying to better our schools and upgrade our schools, having more recreational opportunities for our young people, and having them engage in what they want to see in the rec center instead of us saying, this is what you need. And we want to do those kind of things, having music in there, art, education, those kind of things. We need to make sure that our kids know that we care for them. And that's why I did the youth fund. People criticize that youth fund, but grassroots organizations that have not had the ability to get money from the larger philanthropic organizations are getting that money. Is it a perfect process? No, because it's new. But working out the little kinks that they had, I think we're going to be very proud of the youth fund and how it's going to be a new thing and making sure that every community is represented getting a part of that money. So we're doing what we can do. We're doing what we can do to try to uplift the community, but we need more help, and we need more positive stories to be put out to let people around the state and around the country know that Baltimore is doing a transformational process in the city of Baltimore, and we're going to be in a renaissance of this city, and I guarantee you that the city of Baltimore will be on the move, and people who want to come here to live here going to want to come here because we're on the move. We were named the coolest city in America, the coolest city, even though we have crime. Once we fix our crime issues, the city's going to be where everybody want to live. I guarantee you that. Councilwoman.
I just want to thank you, Mr. Mayor Young, for everything that you have been doing, especially the last 6 months. And your ending was basically in a nutshell that it's going to take community coming together. It's going to take jobs, particularly community working together. And if this isn't a testament with the showing of the power of Northwest Baltimore right here. First of all, I want to give a hand to, we have business here, we have faith-based, we have the Forest Park Coalition, we have Windsor Hills. This is a representation of how Northwest Baltimore has come together, and we are working together. We are working to clean up our neighborhoods. Our eyes are on our community. We're trying to bring people together. And again, this morning is a testament of the showing of how we love and support Baltimore as a whole, how we're supporting this mayor in this effort. And I thank you so much for selecting this area as the kickoff of your cleanup and the Cup Challenge. And Northwest Baltimore is going to work hard for that breakfast or lunch with us.
We also want to thank Mr. Max for allowing us to be on this property. Is he here? Do you want to have a few words? Thank you so much.
How you all doing? Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to say keep on doing a good job. And thank you for this initiative. I think it's a good idea. But we can't do it if we got to work as a team. We got to come together as one and get it done. And I want everybody to support the mayor on this. Thank you.
Thank you.